Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tipped and Sip podcast with your host, Cade Alvarez and
Jared, sir.
Oh, and see now you were late on this because it's your fault.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
I mean, no.
No, it was. You can't be late on something if it's still in theaters.
Right.
Right. We saw the Batman.
We did.
Not together.
Not together. No, why would we?
No.
The last movie we saw together, there was so many problems.
What was that?
Uncut Gems.
Right. Oh. Yeah.
We were a little sleepy.
What a movie to be a little sleepy for. You just hearing your heart's jumping out of your chest the entire movie.
It doesn't stop. I mean, this movie it was a different vibe, but it definitely was like I was tense like the whole time.
I almost dissociated when I heard Adam Sandler go, "I'm gonna come."
You would never hear that in a movie. Like, it just, you don't expect that.
But we saw the Batman. Yeah. Very good film.
I loved it.
I loved it. I liked that it was like a detective movie, Batman. Yeah. Which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah. You said it was like the movie Seven. Before I saw it, the week before, you said it's like, because I was like, what do I expect? We were talking about it with Nate, and he was pissed that it wasn't like a Marvel hippie dip, like, laughing movie. And you were like, no, it's dark. It's like Seven, like a pathological crime thriller. And I was like, that made me the most excited because when I saw it, I was I was listening and watching for like that pattern of just depravity in like the actual crime and the plot. And that's exactly what it was.
It's there. Spoiler warnings, no one's who's seen it, but sure.
Whatever.
I mean, get on it.
It's been 3 weeks.
The scene where where the Riddler is just like right in the opening. They opened that movie fantastically when it's just the mayor is just walking around, and just the moment he moves away, the Riddler's just standing there, and you go, "Oh, this is going to be a good movie."
Yeah.
Like the moment that happened, I went, "I'm going to enjoy this." Yeah. Immediately. Robert Panson, phenomenal. Yeah. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I found out why they casted him the other day.
Why?
Like the director said, Matt Reeves, he said that when he saw him, and this people would assume, when they saw him in Good Time, you've seen Good Time.
Yeah.
Which is another Safdie brothers did Uncut Gems. When they saw him in Good Time, he noticed that Robert Pattinson plays like repressed anger and frustration really well. Because that's really that movie. Right. Good Time is this character is like he's a gross person, but he has this weird, like almost childlike anger in him the whole time. And and then when they had him like that in Batman, that like gothic kind of like loner character came out perfectly.
Perfectly. Did you notice? Did you see that people were mad about the one line that the cat
that Zoe Saldana said? That's not her name.
I have no clue. But Catwoman, when she was just like, we got to show all these like white privileged men what's going on.
These rich white men or something like that. People were so furious.
So salty. I was like, it wasn't even like I literally saw people go like, it got political. Like, I'm like. She made an observation. It's not even political.
It wasn't even there was nothing about that movie that was like woke.
No.
And that line that like triggered the people who were like looking for every woke possible thing.
And what was amazing is that there's not a single black person in power in the city until the mayor's like trying to run for it. Yeah. So again, great observation on her part, and it's not political. And I loved how in the ending, when the arena and all that shit's happening, when Riddler has his incel army on all the catwalks and stuff, they shoot her. They fucking cap her. Yeah. Like I was amazed, but I was like, oh, they're not gonna what? What are you?
I just said you weren't gonna spoil it for
me.
We did say spoiler warnings.
Okay, well, I didn't have a choice.
It's not a big part of the movie, that plot.
That's actually not a big thing at all, by any sort of degree.
That's at the very beginning of the movie. Bryce.
Just derailed the entire podcast. No, we're going to have to restart. No. No, but I was just like impressed that like sometimes some movies are scared to do violence, and sometimes they're really worried about doing violence towards women specifically, which I can understand. It depends on the lane of the movie. Like in Seven, it makes sense because it's a serial killer and he's fucked up. Could you imagine?
Kevin Spacey fucked up.
I know.
That was like his first major role, by the way.
Yeah. They all knew.
They all knew
Before. They all knew what he was up to. He knew. That's why he played psychopath so well, because he was one. But
he's dark.
The thing is, like in Batman, I like that I feel like sometimes it's always, I was like, oh, good. These are crazy people. And everyone's a hit, because that makes sense for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just did you think it was better than Dark Knight?
Yes, I do. Because I'm tired of the Christopher Nolan aesthetic in movies. Because it's not just his movies that do that. It was the movies of the decade following him getting like a bigger rise to fame.
Right.
I'm not talking about Memento. I'm not talking about like that far back. I'm talking about like the Interstellar, the Inception, the Dark Knight era of movies where everything is kind of soft and they use like a really shallow depth of field to make it look cinematic, but it actually just makes it look cookie cutter because everybody starts doing that.
You think Dark Knight's cookie cutter?
No, I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm saying that like that aesthetic became so annoying to me.
It did.
Just that like that tone of movie became really annoying to me. But it's a great fucking movie.
That did dominate like 2006 to like 2012. That was every movie.
I mean, even up to like Arrival. Remember that movie? I mean, that's a great movie too, but it was at that time when they were making everything look super like soft in the background and it feels more cinematic apparently, but like it's just propaganda.
But
do you think it is better? Do you think? Because you said it's too early to tell.
It is way too early to tell.
I'm just from a first impression. I feel like it just had a bigger. It just slapped me across the face. You know, just like how much technically they did, refreshingly and better.
It depends because, like I said, I can always go back to The Dark Knight and watch it all the time. Like the intro scene where it just opens up on like the bank, like just like the helicopter shot, the drone shot. I'm like, that's awesome. Like the cold open of that is amazing. Yeah. And
look at you using the word cold open.
Oh my god,
this is a film podcast.
This is a film podcast. First of all, my favorite director is Wes Anderson.
Who you just got into.
I love Wes Anderson.
No,
I felt like I was like coming out of the directorial closet when I finally told Jared that Wes Anderson was my favorite director, because I feel like I've watched enough movies now to finally make the decision. And I've never watched. There was 3 movies Wes Anderson has made. The Moonrise Kingdom, the Grand Budapest Hotel, and the French Dispatch. They've all made me cry, but they've all made me cry in 3 different ways, which is very impressive. You know what I mean? It's easy to cry when like the character, like something sad happens and the character dies, but like, God, in the French Dispatch, there's just one scene where they're just talking about like loneliness, and they just do it so the cinematography, the acting it's beautiful. It's so picture perfect, and I've never seen a movie do that. So I like that. But I got I got to see French Dispatch, which came out in 2019 or 2020.
That was very new. That was last year.
Yeah,
that was like late last year.
Because it didn't get, because of, you know, something happened in 2020 and happened. People couldn't go to the theater. I don't know what happened.
Do you know what happened?
Do you know what happened? Yeah, me neither. But I really wish I could have saw that in theaters, because watching on my little phone on HBO Max, like I still enjoyed it a lot, but it is such a like it's in black and white, a lot of it too, which a lot of people are immediately turned off by that. Like when movies are in black and white, they're like, it's artsy.
Like it's hard to focus.
Right. And it's like, it's the way that the lighting was done, it's like HD quality black and white. Yeah. And when that's done and done well, it's very, very engaging. And the movie is just fantastic. I like the storytelling in it. It's like 3 stories in the movie. And I don't know. I just felt like I watched that. And I think maybe there was something like, because the movie's about following these journalists and like the lives of them in a way, and the last story that they're kind of writing, and the common theme between all of them is loneliness. And I just felt like watching that, I was like, it's a weird, like, I feel like that's I connecting it to your own life in a sense. Like, I feel like that is a strange creed of art, you know, or in pocket, like trying to get in a lane of entertainment. I feel like that's a common theme, is the a feeling of loneliness. And I just like, I feel like as I just, it was interesting listening to watching that story unfold in the way that they told it. It was very very engaging. I liked it.
Some of the most interesting characters in movies are the ones that outwardly deal with emotions that we hold privately or we feel embarrassed about.
Right.
And one of those can be loneliness, I think, like at least admitting certain things. Now, not everybody's, a lot of people are comfortable with loneliness. They don't see it as necessarily a bad thing. You shouldn't. But I think that is something true. Like, say you have like a very masculine character and they're expected to be more extroverted, but they have this weird longing sense of like separation from everybody. That's not something that people are very comfortable with expressing outwardly.
Right.
I'm automatically picturing, I'm sorry, Bruce Willis from Pulp Fiction.
Right.
I'm picturing his character,
right.
Because he's got like these memories that he's trying to hold on to, and he gets really angry when he can't, when he doesn't have his grandfather's watch, and you see these things rise up in him, and it's like, well, that's always going back to something inside of them, and especially when it's a very masculine character like that, it's a lot more exemplified when they do admit to those really private emotions.
Right. For sure.
Yeah.
And that movie, and his character in Pulp Fiction is definitely a great example of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very hard exterior.
Right.
You know?
Well, I want to move it on to the, what do we want to do? I want to talk about Taylor Hawkins.
Okay.
I do want to talk about that. Taylor Hawkins from the band Foo Fighters has passed away. The drummer from Foo Fighters is very sad.
Yeah.
Very sad for rock and roll, you know. What's crazy about him is as a drummer, like that band was seen as like Dave Grohl in his band. And even though, you know, Dave Grohl's the front runner, when you looked at all the advertising and stuff, it was those two. They're the best friends of the group. And so, you know, that's too bad. He I believe overdosed. And I want to look up, if we can, how many people die from overdoses a year. Why are you laughing? This is not a funny thing to laugh
Jesus
about.
Christ.
It's just like,
What? It's not a tangent. It's connected.
I don't know. It's just dark. It's just,
What's dark?
I don't know. Just talking about it.
Well, you clearly don't see it's dark. You're laughing over there.
I'm laughing because it's dark. All right. Nearly 841,000 people have died since 1999.
In the United States.
Wow. Yeah, it's wild. That's a wild number. It's crazy. I will never forget one of the craziest things ever. I think it was from a podcast. This might be. I don't know. But somebody said that if we didn't want the cartel, we're the most powerful military force in the world, right? And it's like, if we didn't want like a cartel or something, you know, coming from like Middle and South America, like that's our choice of whether it exists or not, in a sense. Like we could do policy changes.
No, yeah, I think you said this. We talked about this on a very old podcast where you said, he just quoted himself, where you were like, we can go into these Middle Eastern countries and just cause havoc, but we can't deal with like this army right on our border who's willing to cut deals, apparently.
Why? That's a really good observation on my part.
You're good, yes.
I don't remember saying that. But no, it's a thing. Like because we're getting to the point, right? Because don't bring it up, but the House just passed a bill to make marijuana legal, right? And we just had a rock star die from an overdose. Now, of course, I imagine the life of a rock star is a little wild. Imagine you get into some wild shit. I'm sure it wasn't one drug that got him. You know what I mean? There was probably, you know, numerous amounts of things going on. But it's just the fact that America treats drugs horribly. I mean, we treat them the same way that we treat mental illness. Very taboo, the refusal to learn about them. A lot of ignorance. And based on a lot of old ideas that was, you know, created by companies. Isn't that so wacky?
Yeah.
That's a really common theme in this country. Believing things that, you know, a pharmaceutical company made. I mean, even the Campbell's chicken noodle soup recipe is like tens of thousands of people. My grandma's old recipe while she made chicken noodle soup. You ever learn about that? We're not going to talk about that right now.
What on God's earth are you talking about? How do we get there?
Listen.
No, because, okay, it's not just like we talked about the cartels, but it's not obviously just the cartels. It's more so like the pharmaceutical, and it's Cade. Cade is the largest drug kingpin.
Yes.
But it's the people who create the pharmaceutical versions of these drugs that, you know, tend to hook people on them.
Yeah, but isn't it their fault, Jared?
Yeah. Yes, but it's also
it's their
shared fault. Another interesting statistic I saw.
It's not anybody's fault. It's their fault. They want to get better. It's their choice.
Can I talk? Is that 40 or 41% of Americans are on SSRIs.
Can we fact check them real quick?
Let's please do, because I saw this a couple days ago.
Okay.
Gotta hit you with a fact check on that one.
Might have to do that.
My mouse is... Oh, there it is. Okay.
For the sake of the podcast, I hope you're right.
How many
I don't want to get accused of
are on SSRIs?
Antidepressant. Yeah, some.
I saw it from a valid source the other day.
Yeah, only One American News.
Yeah.
Okay, the APA.
That's a
No, that's a little bit lower than. I mean, I don't know what that's at.
More than 37 million Americans.
That's still a really high number.
41%.
That's.
I apologize, but that's still a lot of fucking people.
Well, how many is it like of a percentage of the actual, you know, population that can be prescribed SSRIs? Because who knows then?
I mean, even 13%. That's a lot.
That is wild.
And and this was in 2015 and 2018. So you got to just imagine like the pandemic compounding all that. I mean, it's only gotten worse. Everything sucks. Everything's getting worse.
Don't say that.
No. That's
Bryce,
true.
You're never that kind of person. You never manifest that.
I'm just saying that it's fucking shit's expensive, man. Like it's like, what do we got going on here?
I was in Trader Joe's the other day, and they had a gallon of low-fat milk. It was like low-fat. It was regular, like a jug of regular real cow milk, $7.
Yeah, like that's fucked up, man.
And then the regular 1% milk was, I mean, $3-4, something like that. But I was like, I mean, just to your point, as I'm saying, like,
yeah,
we can go to this cute little like store that's all like, you know, their own brands and shit, but like, it's still $7. Like, you can see that and be like, oh, I can get this for here, and it's one brand and it's all nice, but then still, everything else for everybody else is more expensive.
I get my own milk.
You make it?
I can't. I don't want to know why.
Don't even worry about it. No, that's the thing. Are we surprised that people turned to drugs in the time where milk is $5? I mean, there's got to be a point in your life. I mean, I think like once a day at least I could go to a fast food restaurant and spend $30 on a meal for one, because that's what it's like right now. You remember when Chili's was like a responsible thing to do?
Yeah, it was like, let's not go to let's go get like drinks at Chili, because they have a deal usually. It's like
a deal.
Applebee's.
$30. Yeah, but can we have a little class, please, Bryce?
It's a slim margin, but it's.
I'm not saying I went. I just know people that did, because it's like what, like $1 beer there, so $2
not on
beer?
this program, Bryce. Okay. Thank you. But I remember my family going to Chili's and being like, yeah, this is like a nice, you know, we didn't have a lot of money. My family just bought a house. I lived in rented places for the majority of my life. I lived in a bought house for 6 months and then moved out. You know, I was in and out of apartment buildings, and then we rented a home for a long time. But the thing that the family thing to do, it wasn't to go to the movies. My family we wouldn't go to the movies because the thought of us spending $28 on just the tickets was way too much. But you could at least go out to eat. And my family was always like, well, we'll get more out of that anyway. And Chili's was all that 2 for fucking 20 or some shit like that.
Some shit.
I mean, Chili's is like a slum when you. I mean, it's bad. I when I used to go to Chili's with my family, I felt a little embarrassed.
What about the chips? The free
Stale.
chips. Oh.
Also,
They're not free anymore, Bryce.
Ugh.
Nobody does. Nobody does free chips and salsa anymore.
There's nothing free anymore in this country,
Yeah.
Bryce.
That makes me want to slip into the opiate.
That's what. Right.
Like,
thank you.
I'm not saying
We're not.
I might be hyperbolizing here, but I think that if I relied on just a nice, cheap, easy meal from Applebee's or Chili's, whatever you like, and suddenly I had to pay more than what I was paying for my family to eat this food, I might do opiates.
Right.
Percocets.
And if your doctor's telling you that you should do it, then all the more reason.
This isn't shitting on people. This is just telling people a reality. And now it might sound like we're being a little light on it, but it's sorry I don't make a depressing situation more depressing. It's more like, I mean, here's the thing. I know what I would like to see changed, but I know what is actually going to be changed. It's one of those things. Like you get to, like if you were going to run for president right now, honestly, that would be the most embarrassing thing to do as a human being, first of all. But if you were to run for president right now, and you really were like, we're going to change it up this time. Like, do you know how extremist your point of views would have to be in order to really change something? Do you know how dangerous things would get? Like if someone like came out of the woodwork and like, you want milk to not be $5 anymore, I got a few ideas. All right. You're going to get put on a list. You're going to be put on a no-fly list, and they're going to come knocking at your door. That's what's going to happen.
That'd be fun. It'd be fun to see that candidate.
We
will probably see them in our lifetime.
We will
in this decade.
And it's you're going to have the tech companies, the pharmaceutical companies, and the energy sector. All there's going to be just like 3 lasers going through their window at all time, and they're just like walking through the home, and they're like playing fucking whatever that game is where you got to go under the things.
Oh yeah.
It's when you gotta like bend your back.
Limbo.
What are you talking about?
I did think that, but
limbo.
With the lasers in their room.
Yeah, well, they're like, welcome to the home, and there's laser beams coming through the door. They're like, watch your step. Right. That would be wonderful. That's my president, and I hope they're. I hope they come out of somewhere wacky. I hope they come out of somewhere crazy.
Seattle.
Maybe like Tampa.
Literally opposite ends.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I mean,
completely different.
A hyper progressive candidate that was like a little like on the nose.
Had
with
some fun in college.
But
some real fun in college.
From Tampa would be an interesting candidate.
Yeah.
No, maybe not. No, they didn't go to college. You can't send them to college because then they're already out of what makes sense for them to do. 2 years community college, dropped out 4th semester. That's a prime candidate.
What did they study? Where were they studying?
What were they studying?
What was
IT.
their bullshit? IT.
Yeah. They were going for IT. Let's say it's broken family. Mom, opioid addict. It's a tragedy. It's a like pursuit of happiness kind of story.
Okay.
It's got to be believable, because what we're really talking about is making a product.
They're going to have to be able to make a biopic about it in 15 years.
Their story has to already be sad enough to where people are okay with them being the president. So that's the thing. So we have to
like
be
Joe Biden's.
You think you're so funny.
people had sympathy for his dementia. That's why he got the vote.
No, and like
his wife did die,
and his son.
They both died, and then his crack smoking son shacked up with his other son's wife.
Oh, what are we talking about?
He should run. Hunter Biden for president.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We did.
Ooh.
Yeah, you don't know that? Hunter Biden's a crack smoker.
Of course, yeah.
He
Everyone knows
smokes
this.
crack.
I've been told a lot.
Who do you know?
Who would tell you those things?
I know people.
See, that's the thing. But that we need a candidate who's believable.
Do you want to switch to these political ads here that we've got here?
Because these people, one of these guys, the one that I put in there.
Yeah. You want to see this?
He's believable.
Okay.
But if he was, if he was your guy, and he was doing this, would you vote? I would vote.
If he was your guy.
Well, we gotta see it.
Okay.
Your IT guy.
Okay.
Is this the one? What's that?
I think this.
I'm Jason Kander, and Senator Blunt has been attacking me on guns. Well, in the Army, I learned how to use and respect my rifle. In Afghanistan, I'd volunteer to be an extra gun in a convoy of unarmored SUVs. And in the state legislature, I supported Second Amendment rights. I also believe in background checks so that terrorists can't get their hands on one of these. I approve this message because I'd like to see Senator Blunt do this.
We've got room to put...
Listen, first of all, if you tell me you were in the military, I already don't trust you as being a representative of the country. I really don't, because I question what your morality is.
Right.
Like, what were you doing when you were going to college? What were you thinking about? You're like, what? Just something clicked? You were like, one day, yeah, we gotta go. Like, we gotta go.
He's like, I'm an extra gun.
I'm an extra gun.
Because imagine going when there wasn't just a 9/11.
Wild.
You know?
It's the wildest thing. Like, if you went to...
Like our friends who went.
Yeah, if you joined the military post 9/11, like, I'm saying 10 years after 9/11.
Yeah.
Safe number. And any time before 9/11. You got to be doing it because you're like, everything's going to be cool. I'm going to collect a check. But those people are in a different boat. But if you're on the other side of the boat where you're like, I want to go get the bad guys. You want to go get the bad guys?
It's like, who do you think's the bad guy?
Who's the good guys? Dummy. Isn't it great? All the good guys have won every war. I'm glad God is on our side. Imagine if he wasn't. That would be crazy.
That'd be a tragedy.
What a tragedy. Can we get another one?
Yeah, there's this other one I got here.
I don't know. That guy should take that AR and bounce it off his head.
I'm Michelle Fiore, and I'm running for governor. I spent my whole life fighting the establishment. I was the first female majority leader in the Nevada Assembly and one of the first electeds to endorse Donald J. Trump. And you better believe I was attacked for it. Washington Post called me a gun-toting calendar girl, and Politico magazine said that I was the Lady Trump, and I don't care. We need outsiders, fighters, not the same old boring, moderate, compromise, Lou Blazer politicians. Let's start with a 3-shot plan. Ban vaccine mandates, ban critical race theory, and stop voter fraud. The Joe Biden administration is coming after me. I'm Michelle Fiore, and I'm ready for the fight.
Yeah.
That's a Texas Roadhouse commercial.
That woman has worms in her brain.
It's been a while since we saw one of those.
That was horrible.
Checked
Oh,
every
God.
I'm
box.
traumatized. Here's the thing.
Vaccine mandates, critical race theory, and voter fraud.
Right.
They've been talking about voter fraud for so fucking long.
How do you legalize critical race theory? How do you make it illegal? Because here's the thing. Here's the problem. When you start talking about, like, we're going to make this subject illegal, it's like, well, there's a few other people who made a lot of subjects illegal, and they didn't turn out to be the good guys.
It's concerning when anybody wants to make, like, any subject, like, illegal. Like, not, like, socially, meh, you don't legislate that. But when they want it to be, like, this is the way it is, and if you do this, you go to jail. Like, if you are a teacher and you teach this, you go to jail.
Right.
Not like you get, like, coached. But, like, when it's from, like, what's the board of education in, like, the highest level? What are they called? Like, that one
Superintendent?
not in, like, a local level. I'm
local.
talking about, like, in, like, the actual government, like in the cabinet.
Secretary of Education?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, when it's at that level, like, are they creating the Common Core? Because I don't know. If they're the ones who legislate the Common Core, then it's like, what idea is legal and not legal?
I'm sure it's just a boardroom. You know what I mean? It's probably just a bunch of people getting along. They're like, well, we got to have math here and these shit here. And then every couple of years, they got to throw a bone at them. You know, they got to throw a wrench in everything.
We got to let them read 1984. We got to let them read The Heart of Darkness and Fahrenheit and
we can't let
Color
them,
Purple. We got to let them do, you know.
It's funny because it's kind of interesting how, like, I think some people think that this country's so smart that we like let people read 1984. They're like, well, they're trying to tell us like what the bad guys are trying to do. And it's like, if you just look a little harder, if you just try, they're throwing you a bone when they tell you to read that book. They're throwing you a bone. They're going like, yeah, we're the good guys. Read it. This used to be banned by the commies.
We wouldn't do that.
We wouldn't do that.
Don't you think we would?
See, they don't need to ban it. They just need you to be so dumb that you can't read it.
Funny, George Orwell said that. He said they're not going to ban books.
No, I said
they're
that.
going to. Oh, no, maybe it was Aldous Huxley. They're not going to ban books. They're going to make it so you don't want to read, so you don't even care.
No, I said that.
Did he say that? You said that on an old episode, didn't you?
I did. Thank you. Another misquote.
God, that's my third. That's my third misquote. My third misinformation. We're getting taken down on this one.
Is there any more?
No, that's
no.
Dude, first of all,
yeah.
I feel like if my mom saw that political ad, she would feel bad like being a woman. That she like would feel embarrassed. Like that is a like if you were to go, we're gonna take one person from every group to represent you, and someone chose her, you'd be like, that's mean. You that was wild.
That is mean.
That is mean. I agree. I don't like the whole Fox News gotta have the hot blonde on in order to pay attention kind of thing. I'm really anti that. I like real information. I like just normal people telling me normal things, and then I digest it.
Like Tucker.
God damn it, Bryce.
Tucker.
Oh, you can't cuck the tuck. God bless. That's who's going to run for president next. Actually, no, he's not. Here's the thing. That's the thing. People see like her, like she's not even like she's playing a character. Like most likely, if you really got her behind closer, she'd be like, yeah, half this shit is bullshit. I'm just trying to get paid. Or you know what I mean? At the end of the day,
she's not even like no one's actually gonna like she's not gonna get a majority of any sort of vote. Like that's not a serious candidate. That's what I'm saying. That's an Elizabeth Warren type, like someone who was there to distract from everybody else, to be to sway the vote in a sense. But in this sense, on the other side of the aisle, it's more of like a look at the rest. We have to go with Trump, or we have to go with like conversely like a establishment Republican, conservative.
Do you think they're gonna let Joe Biden run against Donald Trump again?
I hope so.
In
that debate that when we got together and watched that debate.
We did.
We got very drunk and watched that, and we just the crumbling of our society was never more. Because 2 weeks before that, no, I'm tweaking. This was like after like the protests and everything. This was like after that had already happened. This was before January 6th.
Right, it was.
And the crumbling of our society was never more clear than watching them debate, and it was just a comedy show. We were watching like
it was a reality TV show.
It was so funny to see them to see how it was even funny. Shut up. It was even funnier.
Why did you say that?
I was agreeing with you.
Oh, I thought you said, my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're being really rude.
I'm sorry. I was being funny.
I'm gonna leave.
Watching the adult we were watching it with at the time. She's like a boomer aged.
Yes.
And she was just shaking her head at it, and we were like howling.
we were screaming.
Smacking on our hands on the couch on our legs and just spilling drinks. Just every time something would happen, just it was honestly perfect.
Because here's the thing: if you're gonna be on a sinking boat, why not have a little fun? What are you gonna get mad about it? Like what are you gonna do? Like listen, if you want to do something, you're gonna have to do something. A lot of people aren't willing to do. A little difficult, but. Yeah, it's not about
Start a podcast.
You start a podcast. Thank you, Jared. This podcast will have more influence over anybody we know running for politics.
We got money in the election. We got money in the election.
We do.
It's in there.
Yeah. We're actually going to have a ballot box in the studio. where people will drop their votes off, and I will be the one personally counting all of them. What else we got on the ticket?
You wanted to tell a story, didn't you?
I did want to tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to tell this
You
story.
still wanna tell
And this
the
is a
story?
serious story.
Yeah. I'm not going to laugh at you on this one.
I want to power through it.
It's going to be hard for you. No. It'll be
No,
fine. It was a dumb situation.
No, I'm fine. It's not a big deal. So we went to a friend of the show, Ethan, young Dave. He's been on here been on here like 4 times now, 5 times now.
Something like that.
Is literally in the room as we speak. But me and him, we go to this particular bar in Kenosha. Now, here's the problem. Oh, I just doxed us. We're gonna have to edit that out. Everyone knows we're from Kenosha. Yeah. I'm stupid. Duh. All right, dude, I'm dumb. All right. So
Clip it.
Yeah, we go to this particular bar. Now it's a hellscape when you go in there. The room kind of starts like vibrating a little bit.
Yeah.
The energy is scary a little bit. The problem is that every time I go to a bar, there's about 5 people all competing to be the problem of the night, and I get pulled into at least one of them.
Mm-hmm. It's just in your nature. It's in your energy.
It's in my nature to be a part of a problem.
Yeah. You have a darkness in you that people see, and they love it. They want to get in there, and they want to just put it inside them.
They want it, and I get it. And so, like, I'm outside on the patio, which the patio is not in front of this bar. It's in a weird cubby in the back of the bar. It's like surrounded by brick wall on all sides. And we're both sitting there, and Ethan gets up from the table, and you were there too. Bro, I totally forgot that you were there. You two were going. No,
Continue.
you were. Damn, bro. Well, here's the problem.
No, here's the funniest part of this story is that both the last time something like this happened, it was the 3 of us again. And it was a situation where you left at the same time to get more drinks, and then only one of you came back, and then the problems began. In this situation, the problem started at you. Like, it came at you first.
Actually, it came at Ethan first.
Oh yeah, because when we're out there just by ourselves,
we gotta get into this.
Sorry.
No. Yeah, we're gonna get into this. So no. This woman came to the table, was looking at Ethan, and was like, "Wow," it said some shit to her. She was a little tipsy, and she walked away. And then Ethan got up to go talk to some people. So it's Jared and I sitting at the table. We were fucking chatting it up with some fucking guy,
some sales guy.
A rat.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a rat of a person. Just the way he was like, you gotta really get in there when it comes to sales. He was like, you steal everything.
He was like, I don't see people as people anymore.
Yeah.
You just take everything from them. Slime ball.
It was
fun. I've been on Snapchat now.
So he'll be on the podcast next week.
He wants to come on.
Yeah, he won't.
I'll tell him maybe.
The same woman approaches the table again.
Yeah.
And she comes into the patio, and it's just the 3 of us pretty much. And she looks at me, and she goes, "Ooh," kind of like that. And she's like, "I love your hair." And she kind of you know what I mean? She does like that
Saunters over.
You know, it's not walking, but she's got like a sway to her.
It's a saunter.
Yeah.
It's a saunter.
Oh, so when she sits down, she's like, "What's your name?" And she goes to, she's like, I'm like, "My name's Kate," and I go to shake her hand. And she's like, "My name's Golden." I was like, "That's not your real name." And I was like, "What's up?" I was already.
We were deep.
I've been in this situation before, so I was already like, I can't wait for this to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And she's like, "My name's Golden." She's just looking at me, and she's like saying shit. And she's like, "Oh, and you have dimples too." All this shit.
You have one dimple.
One dimple. Listen. And she leans over, and she puts both her hands on my thigh.
Because you're sitting like that.
I was sitting like this. Which is, I usually sit like this, but also when I'm around uncomfortable people, I immediately go like this. Because I feel like it's a power move a little bit to just be like, I feel like I can judge way more when I sit like this. And she had her hands on my hip, on my leg, and she fucking skirted in. she fucking went for it. She like put her hand between my legs, and I was like, yeah. And I was like, and she's like, she literally was like, oh, she's like, I'm sorry. I was like, yeah. Let's not, sorry. And she's like, oh, you're not into me. I'm like, I want to go get a drink. I'm like, I don't want to be in this situation. It was very uncomfortable. And it was more, see, here's the thing. Now, I was assaulted.
Yeah,
that's fine. Here's the thing, though. But I still feel worse for her because she was 24 with 2 kids, fucked up on a Wednesday, and then molested me. And I feel like that's way lower of a bar. I mean, that's deplorable. It's like I feel like the action is bad, but then the context is even more unfathomable. So, and here's the problem. See, here's the thing. You can't, as a guy, what am I gonna do? If I did that to a woman at a bar and she said something, my head's getting bounced off a wall. Respectfully. I hope that happens every time, even though I know it doesn't. I'll do the bouncing of the head off the walls. I will gladly do it, free of charge. But if I went up to the bartender and be like, hey, this woman she fucking kind of groped me a little bit. They'd be like, what, are you gay? Dude, you're gay. They start ringing a fucking bell like ding, 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 ding. We got a queer over here. Like, that's how that situation would go. And you feel so trapped in that moment because you're like, damn, there's nothing I can do. I'm going to get demasculized by everybody and then just got to take it. And that was a weird situation. And I went to work the next day. I was like, this crazy thing happened. Everyone was like, that's so funny. And then one person was like, she was like, I'm sorry. And it like hit me in that moment. I was like, thank you. It was a wild story I just told everybody. And everyone was just like, that's hilarious. And I was like, there's so much societal things going on there.
Yeah, so many layers on that. Which it sucks because like I couldn't enjoy my drink after seeing that. I'm saying, because she came over to me then after that. Because you left and then like everybody was like getting out on her for like coming over to me. And she was like screaming, I'm not a homie hopper. And I was like, yeah, my friend's coming back.
Listen, we need to have a friend. We need a lesbian friend. And it's very important. And I want her to be very masculine so that when these situations happen, she can bounce her head off the wall.
Right. And it's okay.
And also bring a little diversity to our friend group. Kind of 2 things I want to cover at the same time. But that's really...
Stupid.
This is a serious topic and you're laughing.
No, I'm not.
But no, that's a crazy thing. That's not okay.
Yeah, no.
And it makes you feel weird when it happens to you.
Yeah.
It does, because I go, this was a wild, because that bar in particular, even though it's a Wild West out there, makes me feel very comfortable. I like being there. I feel very in my element. And I feel like if I see her again, I'm going to feel violent. And I don't want to feel that way at my favorite bar. I want to feel comfortable in my favorite bar. I want to feel safe. Not too safe, but safe enough where nothing too uncomfortable is going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A safe enough thing where if you wanted to leave, you could leave and you wouldn't be stopped from leaving. This situation was like, she would probably like, it would be a very weird situation if you just got up and left. Pushed past people.
Some weird inner dialogues in my head right now, because now I'm thinking about, wouldn't it, like, for whatever reason, I'm like, wouldn't it be really funny if I had just called the cops? Like, because like some people would have, because I'm thinking like so many dynamics, so like people have been like, that's kind of far. Right. You kind of took that a little far, bro. But like part of me is like, well, it is what it is, isn't it? And they're like, yeah, but you had to call the cops. Yeah, but wouldn't it be kind of funny if she like got arrested and was like taken out of the building? That would have been funny. It would have made me feel good. I would have loved putting a charge on somebody's bracket. I would have loved that. I would love to be the reason that somebody cannot get a job. I would love that.
What
maybe not the consequences of being that. Huh?
What would they get?
We take it to court. I'll stand on trial.
We're going to court a lot these days.
Yeah, we're going to small claim, and we're got a lot of things coming at the moment. What else do we got to talk about?
About your Instagram comments on the
Oh yeah, that's another person who's in love with Cade somehow.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
No, it just no. Don't be mean. Don't be mean. We love all the support that we get. Across all of our platforms, truly. But sometimes, we made one clip about a trans woman in the NCAA, and we got flamed for it.
Oh yeah. It made me like uncomfortable. How many people were just like calling us cucks and just rambling.
Look at that. Wait, yeah, let's let me see. Keep going. God damn it, Trent.
This is a fun one.
This coming from two guys that weren't athletic enough to compete in any sport.
Okay, I'll have you know. I ran second at state in cross country in Wisconsin.
Fuck you, man. Underdog fight gear. I mean, block that out. We don't want to advertise his shit.
All right, what else have we got here? People are so,
I don't know. People are dumb.
But it's wild. It's just wild. Like, it was such a small video. It's not even like it blew up or anything.
Someone called us sped, special ed.
Y'all
this
are actually
podcast.
sped. This podcast is dog shit. That's wonderful. Couldn't pay me to watch a full episode.
We won't be paying anybody.
Dude, I gotta be honest. This kind of turns me on. It's just like a weird shame thing going on right now. Keep going.
This one I thought was odd because isn't it? They're saying that like the person in
Listen,
first.
Bryce, don't make sense. These people have been bitten. They've been bitten by a dog, a rabid dog, and they've had rabies for years, and they haven't been helped. Truly, we should be the one praising them. We should be praising them because the more that they come out of the rough, the more that we can help them. The more that we can get people to them sooner. God damn the internet, dude. And so many people were mean to Halo. That made me sad. That poor girl.
And yet she wants to come back on because she's a fucking trooper.
She's a fucking savage. She's a savage. She's the one who should be doing political ads.
Yeah, right.
She's a killer.
Would we ever run for anything again?
Would I ever run for anything?
Yeah. Like politics. Do you still want to do that?
I was trying to think of a good quip and I couldn't.
I hope not. Yeah, no.
No, I'd do it. Let's do it. Fuck it.
Do you want to do the marijuana legalization thing, or you want to?
Well, yeah. Well, we're gonna run for president.
On that?
No. Would you? Well, no. Seriously, would you run for office for anything?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I feel like I'd have support.
Okay.
I'd have the support. I feel like I would. I feel like I'd be like the person you were talking about. I don't know. I feel like it would just be kind of fun.
I feel like you'd get arrested.
Well,
if I could be perfectly honest, actually, I think you'd steal money from the city.
And I need to. I think it'd be good because here's the thing: Donald Trump did so well off of being a slime ball, and I think that anybody can really be a slime ball.
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
But no one's expecting that from me.
Right.
Really.
Oh. Right. There's a lot of nuance to that sentence. I understand now.
I just don't look like the kind of person to be like a crook.
Oh,
but I kind of
the
want
image of a slime, but not an actual slimer.
Right.
No, I get it. You're not going to put out your slime
I don't mean
everywhere.
like grabbing people without consent. I mean like being like I don't know, just being like a nuisance.
Just getting people a little excited that you might say something naughty.
Yeah.
Just he's gonna they
always listen.
Wouldn't it be really funny if wouldn't it be really funny if he like was in like a budget committee and just started calling them a bunch of assholes, so just like making like all these quips, just calling them a bunch of dickheads. That'd be awesome.
No, that would get old really fast.
Okay, whatever, Jared. I'm not gonna run for office. I'm going to make like a volunteer organization that has principles and environmentalism and socialism, and we're gonna get involved with the schools, because I believe in going to the root and not down the line.
You just hate teachers. Cade really does not like teachers.
I don't appreciate it barely. I don't think I had one good teacher.
Right.
No, I don't mean like that. I mean we're gonna get high schoolers involved in doing something productive.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like a little side political identity. And then eventually we'll get so bad that we will flip states. And then I will be killed. I will be assassinated because everyone knows that the greatest political accomplishment is being killed by the CIA.
You saying you want to form some sort of national youth program where like you wear uniforms and
it'll be
fun things like learn how
yeah. I thought you were going way different when you said the uniform parts.
I was mostly boys.
I thought he was saying like making a joke like about the Hitler Youth for a moment. I don't know why.
I thought he was.
That's not what I was.
Wasn't he?
I don't know why I took it that way.
That's what it was.
My brain was in the gutter.
No,
what?
he was.
That was the joke. So thanks for murdering it.
I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
I was gonna play along instantly, but you like called him out for it.
No, because I thought from my head went to like the Boy Scouts. I'm like, isn't that the Boy Scouts? What is that? Is that not the girl and boys? They make them wear uniforms.
They'd have other bad things happen to them.
This has been a wonderful program today.
Let's talk about marijuana.
This has been a fucking roller coaster, this one. Yeah, so, so here's the thing. Now, our opinions on it. Now, we have to have a conservative episode once in a while because we're extremely anti-weed, right?
For the most part.
Absolutely.
I don't like anyone who does it.
I hate them, really. I think of them as...
I would never work with them.
Bad people.
I would never work with them. I look at them as truly animals.
Yeah.
And little...
enemies to themselves.
Gross. No, listen, marijuana should absolutely be legalized. But we have a boomer for a president who's probably going to be like having flashbacks to like the, fucking, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Or the flashbacks to reefer madness type shit. Fucking like he's not going to be able to sign the bill.
Does he need to sign it?
He's the one he practically was part of the administration that made the fucking propaganda. He was there. Was he not? What do you think his thoughts are going to be on it? He doesn't like it. He stated before. You can look up right now. Joe Biden doesn't like weed. They knew that when he said he was going to do it, the moment he got in, the White House is like, yeah, we got no plans to do that. Because as you imagine, he ran on a campaign of lies.
No. What?
Have you seen anything? Where's the
he doesn't remember. He doesn't know what he said.
He
can't be accountable for anything he's done. He has a disease.
We could just get Hunter in there to kind of...
Yeah.
Well, we're not against weed, but here's the thing.
I'm not against weed. Oh God, what are you about to say?
Sometimes you have to just put it down. Sometimes you just have to put it down. I'm not saying anybody needs to pick it up because it's legal now, or it might be. But like, I do things much better when I'm not smoking weed.
Right.
And some people do things a lot better when they are smoking weed. And like, I never feel that way. I never feel, I used to feel that way sometimes about like creative stuff, but it's unfocused my brain when I do it.
Right. Right.
It just doesn't get me in like a focus. It doesn't make me feel any more creative. Actually, it makes me sometimes feel more creative or more open to like weird ideas. Like, I don't know, I'm feeling a certain vibe when I'm doing it, but I can't put a leash around anything to like write it down or to make it into a song or something.
It makes me want to take a shower, like a nice long hot shower. Yeah. Oh, I need some food, good food, something classy.
Yeah.
Yeah, something at least over the $45 mark. That's what it makes me feel like. No, here's the thing though. But this is the more important part about the bill is the scraping it off of people's records, expunging it from the record, getting people out of prison who have been arrested for it, getting the felonies out of there. Because I don't care about people smoking weed. I really care about people getting arrested for it though, and getting felonies, having their lives ruined, because that is nonsense. Because the moment that we tag someone with a felony, I mean, listen, okay, here's the thing. Let's look at prison populations real quick. Let's run the numbers.
So, it's a conservative episode when we're doing statistics.
You think? No. Let's just think about how prisons work real quick. If you put someone in for life, right? What do they have to lose?
Nothing.
They have nothing to lose. So they're going to kill people. They're going to fuck people. They're going to do horrible things. Horrendous, crimes against humanity type shit, right? Which they do. So if we tag someone with a felony and we go, this is the rest of your life now, not putting it at the extremes of being in prison for the rest of your life, but the moment that you're going to tag someone with something that they're going to have to carry with them the rest of their life, you don't think that maybe they're like, what the fuck is the point of me doing this anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Fuck it. I can't even get a job to pay my fucking bills. Why don't I go rob that store? Why don't I go fuck it? I'm going to do whatever I want. They fucked me over smoking weed. I'm going to fuck them back. Can you really blame them? Dude, if I got a felony for weed, I swear to God, I would go out with a bang.
Yeah.
I would be done. I probably would want to kill myself, and I would definitely go out a hero. But I'm just saying, this country has definitely done tens of thousands of people a disservice with that being in place. And I understand there's a conversation that could be had about are there people we know who have smoked weed a little too much, who have done blah, 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 and so, right? Of course. But, at the end of the day, do those people deserve to be in jail?
Right.
Or tagged with a felony? No, it's ridiculous. Here's the thing. I've never barged into your room at 2 a.m. high on weed. I've always done it 11 drinks in.
Mm-hmm.
That is my weed.
Mm-hmm. Right. Because
he doesn't coke.
He gets high off of trying to wake me up at 2 a.m. and unlock my phone with my face on me while I'm asleep, so that he can text Ethan because he lost his phone.
The reason why I got that drunk is because someone drove me. So being responsible.
Okay.
What was that? Did you? Sorry.
It was Ethan coughing.
Can you shut the?
I
won't do it to you. I'll do it to him. No.
I respect that. That's your high. That's your gateway drug.
Dude.
To bigger and better things in our relationship moving forward.
I truly, because you know what? I can come home. I'll down one real quick and I'll whip out some magic all of a sudden. But if I came home and smoked a little weed, I'd be like, I just want to chill out. But if someone's like, let's get some shit done, I got some beers, I'll be like, oh man, we're really getting shit done today.
And you can skip weed. You can go right to coke. When we move to some other state, you don't even need to mess around with weed.
Thank you.
I cannot wait for you to come into my room at 2 a.m. on an obscene amount of coke and probably drunk at the same time. And just an earful. Okay.
And these things will not be my choice either.
No, it's all a system of, it's your family's fault, really.
I'm so ready for that chapter, but the podcast needs a little more numbers before we can get there.
Yeah.
So everyone needs the Venmo, the Tipped and Sip podcast, so that we can finally be able to afford a lavish lifestyle with a lot of cocaine.
Do we even have a Venmo? We always say it.
No, we don't.
Send the Venmo.
We should make that because someone will throw us $5.
Someone for the joke would do it.
Here's the thing, because my problem is that I'd be like, yeah, buy our merch, but we lose so much money off of that. It's like, I'll make you a shirt. Just give me the money. I'll press you a shirt. What else did we hit?
I mean, that's the end of the episode.
What time is it? How long did we go?
An hour.
Really?
Jesus.
Wow. This episode had a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
But in a respectful way. We said some crazy shit on this one a little bit. And I have to say, I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
I am. Because you know what? Comedy, we cannot be afraid to be funny.
Oh my God.
If it means it's not punching down. Because when I look at my life, I feel like I'm down. I don't feel up. So I feel like I'm just punching around me. And I'm waiting for everyone to punch back because it's like we're all having a fun game.
The more you do it, punch everybody around you, the more people punch you back, and realize that we're all on the same level. Just clock the person next to you, and they'll figure it out. Good night.